I am the Lord Jesus, and I speak to you now, not in thunder, not in a storm, but in a quiet voice that knows your name, that sees your story, that has walked beside you through every high and every low of your life. My child, you have wondered many times, why do I rise only to fall again? Why do moments of joy seem to be followed by waves of sorrow? Hear me now. I am not far from your pain. I am not silent in your celebration. I am the meaning in your mountain and your valley. I am the purpose behind the joy and the tears. I am the God who walks with you when the sun is shining and when the night is long. Ecclesiastes 3:1 tells you, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven." That means your highs are not just blessings, they are divine assignments. And your lows? They are sacred classrooms where I mold your soul, refine your character, and draw you closer to me. You see, every mountain you've climbed was not by accident. I placed strength in your legs when you thought you couldn't go another step. I filled your lungs with courage. I surrounded you with unexpected grace. That promotion you got, the healing you received, the prayer I answered, that was me. But I was also there when the door slammed shut, when the diagnosis came, when the person you loved walked away. And you cried, "Where are you, Lord?" I was there, in the silence, in the ache, in the breaking. Because it's in the breaking that the light gets in. It's in the wilderness that you learn to trust me. Not just for blessings, but for breath. Romans 8:28 is still true. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him. Yes, even the hard things, especially the hard things. My beloved, let me take you to a place in your memory. Do you remember that season when everything was stripped away? Maybe it was during a financial loss, a broken relationship, or when you sat in that hospital chair holding the report that made your hands tremble. And yet, you're still here. You didn't just survive. You learned to pray deeper, to breathe slower, to give me your burdens one tear at a time. That's not just pain. That's power being born inside you. That's not just loss. That's me preparing you to carry something greater. Every valley has a view if you trust me to lead you through it. Let me show you this in the story of Joseph. He had dreams, but he was betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave, and wrongly imprisoned. That's a low. But even there my father was working. Even there my presence did not leave him. And in time, Joseph was raised up. Not just for his glory, but to save a nation. Genesis 50:20 says it best. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. My child, that's your story too. Your pain is not pointless. Your trials are not wasted. I am weaving it all into something holy. But you must trust the pattern even when you cannot see the thread. There's a woman who once prayed, "Jesus, I don't understand why I lost my job." It crushed her. She cried for days. But in her waiting, she began baking for neighbors, just to keep her mind busy. That little act turned into a business. And today, she hires other women who've walked through loss just like her. Her low became a ladder for others. That's me. That's how I work. I bring resurrection from graves. I bring joy out of mourning. Isaiah 61:3 says, I give beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and a garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. If you are in a low moment right now, don't curse it. Consecrate it. Lift it up to me and say, Jesus, I trust you in this too. Remember David? He danced before me in triumph, but he also cried out in caves, Why are you so far from saving me? Psalm 22:1. He was a man after my own heart, not because he had only highs, but because in his lowest moments he still reached for me. And that's what I want from you. Not perfection, but pursuit. Not constant joy, but constant surrender. When you raise your hands in worship, even with tears in your eyes, heaven rejoices. When you say, "Yes, Lord," even when the road is dark, you shake the gates of hell with your faith. I see your highs and lows. I know the quiet tears of parents trying to raise children on their own. I know the silent prayers of the elderly who sit alone remembering better days. I hear the whispered cries of those who feel forgotten. And I'm answering. I've never stopped answering. I'm building something eternal in you, even when you feel nothing is happening. That's when I do my greatest work. My beloved, I want you to understand something deeper now. Your life is not a random collection of moments. Every peak and every pit has a spiritual meaning. The mountaintop moments? They are glimpses of my glory, a preview of the joy that awaits you in eternity. When your child was born, when the healing came suddenly, when that financial breakthrough rescued you right on time, those were kisses from heaven, gifts to remind you that I see you, that I care, that I am still the same yesterday, today, and forever. But I don't only reveal myself in the high places, I whisper in the low ones. When Elijah was at his lowest, hiding in a cave and begging to die, I didn't scold him. I passed by, not in the wind, not in the fire, not in the earthquake, but in a still, small voice. 1 Kings 19:12. That's how I often speak when you're in your valley. Quietly, tenderly, consistently. It's in your nights of crying that I place new songs in your heart. It's when you've run out of strength that you discover mine. And my strength, child, is made perfect in your weakness. That's what I told Paul in 2 Corinthians 12:9, and it's what I tell you now. My grace is sufficient for you. Do you remember that season when you felt abandoned? When every phone call brought bad news? That wasn't me turning away. It was me turning you inward, pulling you closer. Because in the stillness, in the questions, in the unraveling of all you thought you knew, I was revealing what is eternal. I was stripping away the noise so you could hear my heart. There is no depth you can fall to where my arms cannot reach. Psalm 139 verse 8 declares, "If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there." You see, your lows are not signs of failure. They are invitations to lean on me more fully. Let me take you to a moment. A woman sat alone with a cup of coffee and a broken heart. She had just lost her son. She felt she had failed as a mother, and she whispered, "Jesus, if you're real, show me." That same hour, a stranger paid for her meal and left a note. "You're not alone. God sees you." That moment didn't fix everything, but it reminded her that I had not forgotten her. And since then, she has become a light to other mothers walking the same painful road. Her low became her calling. That's what I do. I take what the enemy meant for evil and use it for your ministry. Your lows teach you compassion. Your highs train you for generosity. When you've been broken, you don't laugh at others' wounds. You bind them. When you've been lifted, you don't boast. You bless. That's spiritual maturity. That's Christ in you. The world may measure success by what you gain, but I measure it by how much you love, how much you forgive, how faithfully you trust when nothing makes sense. Even in your sorrow, I am working resurrection. Even in your disappointment, I'm planting seeds of destiny. Beloved, don't rush the process. Don't despise the quiet years. I was a carpenter for 30 years before I preached a sermon. I walked dusty roads, worked with my hands, loved my mother, and waited on my Father's timing. That means your waiting is not wasted either. Your hidden years are holy. Your private battles matter. I see them. I celebrate your victories, even the ones no one claps for. You said no to temptation last night, that matters. You forgave someone who didn't apologize, that moved heaven. You got up and prayed when you felt nothing. That's faith. I'm proud of you. I know your land has seen both joy and sorrow, seasons of revival and hardship. But I still have my hand on you. I see the caregivers, the workers, the quiet heroes who serve without recognition. I see the young hearts searching for purpose, and the older hearts asking if they're still needed. And I'm telling you this, every time you lift your eyes to me, I pour new mercy over your life. Lamentations 3:22-23 says, "Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed. His mercies are new every morning." Don't give up just because you're in a low. Don't assume the story ends in the valley. I conquered the grave to show you that every low leads to life when I'm in it. The cross looked like defeat, but it was victory. The tomb looked final, but it was the beginning. And your situation, no matter how painful, is not the end. It's a chapter. Trust me to write the next one. Even your mistakes, your mess-ups, your detours, I can use them. Nothing is wasted in my hands. I turned Peter's denial into a powerful ministry. I turned Paul's persecution into purpose. I turned Mary Magdalene's pain into praise. What can I do with your story if you just trust me fully? So I say to you now, whether you are standing on a peak or walking through a pit, whether your heart is singing or barely beating, keep walking with me. I am with you in it all. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. The spiritual meaning behind your life's highs and lows is this: they are all places where I reveal myself to you. They are all part of your transformation. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. For glory. For eternity. For a purpose greater than you can yet imagine. And my beloved, let your heart receive even more of what I desire to reveal to you. For the journey of life is longer than what your eyes can see, and deeper than what your thoughts can grasp. The spiritual meaning behind your highs and lows is not just comfort or survival, it is transformation. You are not just being shaped, you are being sanctified. You are not just walking through seasons, you are walking through sanctuaries, each moment designed to draw you closer to the glory of my presence. Let me tell you again, your pain has purpose. Your process is holy, and even your most confusing detours are part of a divine design that leads not to despair, but to destiny. Do you remember Moses? He was raised in the palace of Pharaoh, a place of power and privilege. That was his high. But then came the low, a murder, a desert, 40 years of silence. Yet even in that wilderness I was speaking. I turned a burning bush into a divine commission. I turned his broken past into a leadership mantle. When Moses felt disqualified, I said, I will be with you. And that is what I say to you today. You may feel like the desert has lasted too long, but I have not forgotten your name, your dreams, or your prayers. In fact, I've been preparing you for something greater. You may be herding sheep right now, but soon you will be parting seas. You may be hiding in fear, but I will use your hands to carry deliverance. When you walk with me, no experience is wasted. Every loss is preparation. Every delay is alignment. Every silence is sacred. You are not behind. You are being built. And think of Ruth, my beloved daughter. She lost her husband. She left her homeland. She walked into a strange land with nothing but her faith and loyalty to her mother-in-law. That was a valley, a low of loss and grief. But even there I saw her. I orchestrated her steps into Boaz's field. I turned her labor into favor. Her story became a story of redemption. From widow to bride, from broken to blessed, from gleaning to owning. And not only did I bless her with a new beginning, I wrote her name into my lineage. Ruth the outsider became a grandmother to kings. That is what I can do with your lows. I can turn them into legacy. I don't just restore, I elevate. And I want you to know that even if you feel unseen, I see you. Even if your prayers feel unheard, I am listening. Just like I saw Ruth in the field, I see you in your effort. I see your quiet faithfulness. I see how you keep showing up, even when nothing around you changes. I see how you smile through the ache, serve through the sorrow, give through your lack. And I say this: your reward is coming. Your story is being written, and it will be glorious. Let me remind you of Zacchaeus, a man seen as a traitor, a tax collector, hated by many. Yet he longed to see me. He climbed a tree, desperate for a glimpse. That was a moment of longing in the middle of shame. A low. But what did I do? I stopped. I looked up. And I called him by name. I said, Zacchaeus, come down. I must stay at your house today. That's my heart. I meet you in your efforts. I meet you in your seeking. And I don't just pass by. I enter in. Your desire to find me, no matter how small, pulls me close. I am not waiting for your perfection. I am responding to your pursuit. Even your tiniest act of faith, a whispered prayer, a late-night worship song, a silent tear moves heaven. I dwell with the humble, I walk with the weary, I abide with the broken. I stand at the door and knock. And if you open, I will come in and dine with you. Revelation 3:20. You do not have to climb trees to get my attention. I already have my eyes on you. And now I bring you to Esther, a woman chosen not by accident, but by divine appointment. She was placed in the palace not just for comfort, but for courage. Her low was hidden. A Jewish girl in a foreign court, surrounded by danger and deception. But I raised her up for such a time as this, and she risked everything to save her people. She stood in the gap, and I gave her favor. Her story teaches you that even when you feel surrounded by fear, I have placed royal purpose within you. You are not where you are by chance. Your position, your personality, your pain, they are all part of my plan. Do not fear the weight of your calling. I will give you the strength to carry it. I will go before you, and I will cause your voice to echo where silence once ruled. Your courage will break chains. Your obedience will shift generations. My child, I know you wonder, what if I miss it? What if I take the wrong step? Hear me. I am not a fragile God. My will is not a tightrope you must balance. I am a shepherd. I guide you with grace. Even if you take a detour, I can reroute you. Even if you fall, I will lift you. Psalm 37:23-24 says, The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. I am not counting your mistakes, I am counting your steps of faith. Keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep leaning into me. The highs and lows are not punishments or rewards. They are tools. I use them to reveal me, to reveal you, to reveal what lasts. And yes, some of your lows are because of spiritual attacks. enemy interference meant to discourage you. But I have already declared that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. You are covered. You are protected. Angels are encamped around you. You do not fight alone. When you pray, heaven moves. When you worship, darkness flees. When you speak my name, demons tremble. You may feel weak, but you are stronger than you think, because I live in you. And greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. 1 John 4:4. I have already overcome. Your battle is not for victory, it's from victory. So rise up. Put on the armor of God. Speak my promises. Walk by faith, not by sight. You're not losing. You're learning. You're not defeated. You are developing. I will turn this warfare into a testimony. I will turn this opposition into oil that anoints you for more. Now let me speak to those who are hidden, those who feel like no one sees their struggle, their effort, their growth. You may not be on stages, you may not be known by many, but you are known by me, and I reward what is done in secret. I bless what is birthed in the quiet. I'm not looking for fame. I'm looking for faith. I see the grandmother who prays daily for her family. I see the father who comes home exhausted but still loves his children well. I see the young woman who says no to compromise in a world full of pressure. I see the teenager who reads my word in secret. I see the businessman who chooses integrity. I see the servant hearts who give with no applause. And I say, you are my delight. Your story may never make headlines, but it is being written in heaven. And one day you will hear, well done, good and faithful servant. And beloved, I want you to stop measuring your life by peaks and valleys. Measure it by me. Measure it by love, by growth, by obedience, by the fruit of the Spirit. Are you more patient? Are you more kind? Are you more gentle? Then you are winning. You are maturing. The world will try to define success by noise, numbers, and applause, but my kingdom is different. The greatest in my kingdom are the servants. The first shall be last. The humble will be exalted. When you live for me, nothing is wasted. Not one moment. Not one mistake. Not one tear. I bottle your tears. I record your steps. I hold your heart. So do not be afraid of the lows. Do not idolize the highs. Just walk with me. Through it all. Every step. Every turn. Every season. I am with you. And I will finish what I started in you. And now, my child, if this word touched you, if it stirred something inside you, if it reminded you that I am with you through every high and every low, then don't keep it to yourself. Someone close to you is walking through a silent valley right now, wondering if I still care. Be the one who brings my voice into their life. Share this message with someone who needs to hear my words. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to God's Sacred Voice, so you never miss when I speak again through this channel. Let your heart remain open, your faith remain strong, and your spirit stay connected. For I am always speaking to those who are willing to listen. I am Lord Jesus, and I love you forever.